Here we go. Matt Sauvage of James Monroe Mavericks. Hey, Matt, here we are again, another state championship. How does this feel compared to last year at this time when you won it? I hate to ask that question.
Yeah,
how
no.
do you feel? But I mean,
I thought it was going to feel a lot different, just for many different reasons. But I could say that I would never get tired of this. It feels really good. Each group of boys is different. This group, even though we had a lot of similar faces, it was still different. And so each team's different, and it felt good to let these boys bring home another championship.
it's probably too soon to ask, but I'm going to do a story on it, so I'll ask you anyway. What do you think Eli stands in legacy? You're a Monroe County guy. Where does he stand in, you think, of the lore and his legacy in Monroe County, if not number one? I mean, I'd hate to see.
There's been a lot of great players come through Monroe County. If we were talking about James Monroe, he's close to number one if he's not there. But then you also got, there was a lot of great athletes come through Peterstown and Union, a lot of great athletes. And so, it'd be hard. It's kind of like the NBA. It's hard to compare eras. But I can honestly say if he's not in the talk for one of the best, something's wrong.
2 state championships. I mean, that's probably second at James Monroe scoring. I don't know where
Yes.
he would rank all time.
Oh,
at
yes.
Peterstown, but I'm with Peterstown and Union.
Yeah, he's good. Like I said, if he's not one of the best, I think somebody's crazy that's talking about it.
Seems like defensively you went a little different today. It wasn't so much full court you were tracking, but it was more than a half court.
Yeah.
Was there a reason for that?
Yeah, we felt like Tucker's guards were pretty good. They handled the ball really well, and so we wanted to start out in soft pressure, just to see how the game was going to go first. And then when they crossed half court, then we would amp it up a little bit. But first quarter, we kind of felt it out just to see how it was going to go. And, in between the first and second quarter, we made the decision to start putting a little more pressure. And so we were able to trap a lot more and kind of speed up the game to our pace.
And I asked you in the press conference about Eli scoring, but all season, facilitator for these guys. Last 2 years, really facilitator for a lot of guys. And for him to come out tonight, just kind of, it seemed like early on he just made a decision, maybe from what Tucker was doing.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys helped him make it, but I'm gonna have to take over this game scoring.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Well,
what he
we
did.
talked last night that, if 24 and 42, if we could get them on switches with Eli and we could clear out the lane, we felt like he could either score or have an easy assist on the backside for someone, because it was going to be a 2-on-1. And thankfully, they were backing off, staying on their guys, and Eli was just able to exploit that. So it was a coaching decision, but a great execution by Eli.
Are you surprised that you could get as much as you did from Juan Hopkins, especially on a stage like this, state championship, for a kid who never played organized?
Yeah, you never know how he was going to come out. Nerves play a point.
I know sometimes he struggled a little bit with confidence too, but to come out and some of those rebounds, he knew exactly where he needed to be. He knew exactly what he went. He went up there and got it physically.
And if you watch Juan, if you charted his progress from the beginning of the season until now, he had a couple good games at the beginning of the season. It's not that he was bad at all, but as the season went, it was amazing. If he had another 10 games, you'd even see a better player. He just continued to progress as the season went, and tonight was a culmination of that. I thought he played great tonight.
He's a guy that last year made it one practice and quit.
Yeah.
So he comes back out. Did you tell him, all right? It's either you're with us now, or what did you tell him when he came back?
Yeah, well, him and Colin had a conversation, and Colin said, "Dude, if you're coming out, you're going to have to stay." He said, "I'm staying." And so when I had the conversation with him at the beginning of the season about, you might get playing time, you may not, and he's like, "Coach, I'll be here regardless." And like I said, first game comes around, he's starting for us, and you've seen the progress since.
You kind of needed that tonight. Eli was really the only one scoring at that point in the game, and he kept, not only had you in the game, but he had a little bit of a lead.
Yeah. His cleanup work was amazing, and we told him if you can do something on the backside, if you can crash that hard, you're going to get a lot of opportunities. And not only did he crash the backside, but he was able to read where the ball was going and go up and get it. And, I felt like he went back up to finish at the right times and he kicked out at the right times. This was probably the most complete game that Juan's played.
When, Josh referenced, 4 years ago we're getting our butts kicked by the likes of Shady Springs, Bluefield. Is this a little bit, and I know it was tough for you then too, and I don't want to put you in the hot seat or anything, but you guys were, I mean, it was tough at that time.
It was
This
very
is kind
tough.
of I don't want to say vindication, but that's kind of what it is. I mean,
No, I agree. And I thought some of the teams we played even that year felt like that we weren't very good, and they kind of looked down. It's not a bad thing. Coaches, we didn't play very good overall. So, but it feels good to come out the last 3 years and show what we've been able to accomplish. Not just the 2 state championships, but I felt the year before that at 17-2. We put ourselves kind of on the map that year.
What do you do? I'm not asking you to say what you do season-wise, but with the program, I mean, you lost quite a bit.
Yes.
But the guys that were, 2 of the guys that were up,
Yeah.
all 3 of the guys
Yes.
were seniors. Guys behind them were seniors. I mean, was this an end of a run, or can you sustain something from just being able to?
Yeah, no, I truly feel, the good thing is right now in Monroe County, we've got a good program built up in the off season, where they're putting in more work now than they used to, because it used to be, November through beginning of March, and that was your season, and now they're getting in the weight room, they're getting into open gyms, they're getting in, and they're putting in the work they need to put in, and I feel like this younger group's going to do that just as strong, so we'll see how it plays out. You never know, but I feel like they're going to put in the work to do that.
What did you say to Eli when he came out the last time? I mean, I know you had the same situation with Shad last year, and Josh and some of the other guys. I mean, but
I'll just be honest.
specifically him.
Eli means a lot to me, and I just hugged him and told him I loved him. That's nothing else needed to be said.
So, I mean, these guys got it. I know you didn't have shirts printed or anything like that, but you kind of expected to be here. Is it a little bit more in that regard, maybe?
These boys especially. Yeah, these boys expected it.
You were defending, not chasing.
Yes, and these boys expected to do that. Period. Like as coaches, we were taking it game at a time, trying to figure out what we needed to do to get that win, and we knew they were going to be tough. But with these boys, it's their confidence was that we're going to win again, and so whatever we need to do to get there, we'll do it, and they accomplished it.
2 losses in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
2 pretty good programs.
Yeah. We were just talking about that walking down the hallway. That we've got 2 losses in 2 years and only 4 in 3 years. That's.
I don't think anybody in the States got that.
Yeah,
right.
that's a nice little run there, for sure.
What does it mean that you were able to come down here and win every game by 10 or more points for 2 years?
I think it shows how good this team is. And you don't want to say that till the season ends. But this was a very good team, and for them to show, I don't know if you want to use the word dominance or not, but to show what they could do down here to each team, that's awesome on their part. Because as coaches, you can get the game plan, but if it's not executed, it's not going to matter. And I felt like they executed it to perfection.
Now, I can tell you this from covering you guys for 2 years. I think the head coach deserves a lot of that credit too.
And I appreciate that a lot.
It's been a great run.
Dave, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.